Okay, we're going to start working the oil pump here. Actually been working on it for a little while, but whoa, been looking for parts. Alright, so this is the oil pump that came with the bike. So it's got some issues with it, like most things around here in this motor. So I was looking down here in the check ball area to go do some lapping in there maybe. And it's got a big pit in it. Figure out where the pit's at. I don't know if you can see in the pit or not in there. There's a big crater in there. I can't see it. Let's see where it's at. Hard to see with the camera. Alright, oh, I think it's bright. There it is. Right there. Okay, so right on the top of that hole there, you'll see a big pit down in there. Right where the ball seat area is in that thing. So there's a big crater. So more than likely that's going to leak like a sieve. So that's the problem with these issues. So the ball bearing right here doesn't seal very good when it's got a big air hole. Now this pump had the they installed that stupid seal thing in there. In here, trying to make it not leak. This is supposed to stop wet something evidently. Well, when you got a big ass crater in your oil pump body, I don't care what it does on the rest of the pump, it's going to leak like a sieve. Okay, now we already got a seal right here between the two gear halves. That's supposed to stop wet something also. So I don't know what double. If one seal leaks, how two seals going to be better? I haven't got a clue. So I'm not sure how that's supposed to make any damn difference. But I'm sure there's a theory out there. Okay, this pump here is got a 52 cast number on it right here. But this is a small gear pump, which is late 62 to 71. It has small little dinky gears on there, small diameter. So early pumps have big ass gears, see the difference? And so do the 72 pumps. So these 62, 71 pumps have small gears. So even though it's got a 52 cast number on it, it should actually have a 62 cast number on it because it's a 62 pump. It also has a pickup hole in the back here, which is a little bit later again. That's like 70 or 60. They changed the oil tanks on the Sportster 65 when they went to 12 volt. I think that's when they put a feed line in here. Instead of feeding through the top here, this is vent, that's feed. It had a line that went around under here and fit in the bottom. That's why there's a hole down here. See, these pumps here don't have those holes in there. They're casted shut. Okay, so anyway, I went and dug through all my pumps. I got 4 pumps here. So the difference in the pump is these are from late 58 to early 62, and these have an oil seal in here. See the oil seal? Same as this one. This one here, which is 56 to early 58, there's no oil seal. So this one would leak. Let's have a wet something issue, but they don't care about that on old bikes, so it wasn't a factor for them. So the pump itself is all the same, it's just this one doesn't have the seal in it. So that makes it the early one. K model pumps, which are the 52 to 56, 55 pumps, are different again, but they're similar. They have the big gears and all that stuff. The breather housing here is 52. This goes back to 52. So it's all the same stuff. Alright, so there's your differences. So we don't want to use this because that probably would leak. And this here has the little dinky gears in here, which means we're going to need some gears. This oil pump here has a lot of wear in it, where it's had a lot of trash run through it. So you can see all the scraping marks going through here. That's from trash. Well, nothing real big heavy, but a lot of fine stuff. So that's from like the rods being bad and stuff like that, where metal goes through it, but it's not big chunks like broken piston pieces and big stuff. You can also see all the marks here on the side where it was chewing on the side here too. So this is your return side, the big side. And the pressure side is this one over here. And you can see it's got all the marks in there too. So this pump's pretty worn out already, as well as being small. And has a bad oiling issue probably. Okay, so I want to convert over to a stock pump because this is a 61 motor. So it should have a correct oil pump on it. So that's these pumps. So I have to pick through these and find one I want to get rid of. So, like I said, these all have the correct no feed line down here, which is correct. These have no part numbers on them. See, no numbers. Has the boss, but no number. See, boss there, that has numbers. This has no numbers. So a little different. Now, this one here looks like it's got some fine scrapage in there, but not too awful much on that side. This side's looking pretty good. Looks pretty smooth up into the outside edge there. So this looks like a good pump. Okay, this one here has a few more scrapes in there. So this has a little more wear through it. Pressure side looks good. So this one actually had a filter on it that was working. So the return side had the trash running through it. Went through the oil filter in the tank, and then it had fairly clean oil coming back. So this has good pressure and a little bit of wear on the return side. So this is our number 2 body for now. Okay, now this one here, you can see it has big gouges through it, so you had big chunks going through that. And then this here, looks like it's dirty. I don't see any big chunks on this side, but you can see on this side where it has some pretty good sized scratches going through. Not super deep, but more than our good pump. Okay, so this here looks like our best body. So that'd be this one. Okay, so I gotta take this all apart, go clean it up, go bead blast it so it's nice and smooth and clean, and we'll come back and see how bad it is. Okay, so the other thing I do now is dig up some gears. So these are my gears. So these were marked early. Large gear, pre-72. Well, it'd be pre-62, not 72 or whatever. Now this is cut away for a breather to be on there. So which side of this motor is... Let's see, that's the body. Where's our check valve at? There's our check valve. So this one has a 2-piece snap ring we're going to deal with. This goes through that way. And I'll take the pump we're going to use, this one. Goes on like that. See, it's got 2 dowel pins here. That aligns the pump. See, late pumps don't have any dowels in them. Early pumps do. They cared about stuff when they built them back then. Okay. So the return gear is on the outside edge. That's how that works. So that means the return gear is going to have a cutaway for a clip. So these are return gears here. That'll be the one with the key on it. See how these are solid? See, they're all solid on both sides. Yep. So this set here is probably the only set of gears I got. These have the snap ring. Or not snap ring, it's made for the circlip. Or not circlip, yeah, for keys. I'll figure out some words. This goes on here. There it goes. And see, it's got room for the split keys that go in there. The split keys are, they were laying over here somewhere. I put them. I put them up here so I wouldn't lose them. I suppose I lost them anyway, do you? Maybe. I'm not seeing them. Thought I put them up over here so I wouldn't lose them. Looks like I lost them. Have to find some more down here. So they're floating around somewhere. Anyway, the split keys go in there. It's 2 keys like a valve keepers. They go on each side, and the gear goes up and locks them in. So you have to have an early gear, like these. Yeah, there it goes. Okay, this gear here is solid, so there's no room to have the split key. This takes a circlip, which is what's on the later pumps, which I don't have here. Okay, another thing that we got is this gear is a little bit thicker than this gear. There's a change in height. So we have to get the right gear for the pump. Now this pump here looks like it takes a tall gear to me. So let's put this gear in there, it'll fit. See what height it is. Doesn't want to go down there. There we go. Okay, see that's the correct one. See how it sits in there flush? So that's the correct one. This gear here is taller, it would stick up too high. So when they went to probably in 72, when they came out with the big gear again, they went to a taller gear, so it has more pressure, or more volume, I mean, on the return side. So they made a change. So this is my only set of early gears, it looks like. Wonderful. Got lots of pumps and no gears. Now these gears here probably are all the same. Pick a set that ain't all damaged. Well, it's damaged a little bit. Hard to tell. Looks like it's used. That one looks good on both sides, and these teeth look good. See how these have like the machine marks still on them right here on the top? So they look good. See how this one here, it's all rough looking and kind of semi-polished looking? That means it probably had a lot of metal going through it. So it's a little bit smaller than stock probably. That'd be my guess. See, they're both kind of smooth looking. This one here looks a little rougher. Looks like it's got machine marks across. That's what we're looking for. Same on this one. Okay, there's our 2 gears there. This one here will not work. So the next problem is we need a low set of gears for that. That was this one right here. There we go. I don't want to jam it in, I'll get it off again. Okay, so it looks like I only got 1 set of early gears, because these are probably all the same there. So, looks like we're running out of gears. Okay, so this here will be the correct oil pump. So, like I said, this is late 58 to early 62. And this is a 61 bike, so that makes it all good. Okay, I'm going to go clean all this stuff up, and we'll be back. Okay, back on our pump here. So I got this one all blasted up. Surfaces all look really, really nice. Nice and smooth. Don't see anything really too much trash. A couple of small grooviness through there. You can't see them too much in the light, but this side looks pretty nice. So overall, pretty good condition. And then inside the seat down up in here, I don't know if you can see in there, but looks nice and clean. Trying to get over this light on the damn thing. Hard to tell, but yeah, it looks good. Definitely better than the other one. Okay, something else I did find out though, on these early pumps, it's like on an old panhead. Your 48 to 52 or so pumps, or maybe not 48, 50, 50 to 52 anyway, they have the ball with the plunger on it, with the tail on it like these. So it looks like the K model did the same thing, and these early Sportster pumps did it too. And they have a hollowed out valve here because it works right here as a spring loaded. Get your check bulb goes like that. So this is what goes inside of that. The later pump, see it's solid, doesn't have the hole. So whenever you see one that has a hole in it, it's an early pump. So anyway, there's your spring. There's that. This spring's about a couple hundred thou short on the late spring, which is your 72 pump. So there you go. That's how it goes. So pretty fancy. So I found the split clips here for him and the pin that goes across the gear, which was, these are his gears. I found 2 more gears for me. So this is the dowel pin that goes in there. It's basically a roller. That's what locks this in so it doesn't rotate. And the 2 clips, and I found an extra one for me. So those were buried up under all that crap when I dug through it. Alright, so there's your differences there. So now I'm going to I need to clean these holes out in this pump. I forgot to do that. It's got some silicone type material in there. The blaster does not take off silicone or sealer. It just bounces. It's like being on rubber. It doesn't do anything. There, find out where the light went to. So I do is I take a reamer like that, and we'll run it through the hole to clean it up. So we're just going to do that. So this is our 1/4 inch reamer here, which is loose. So we got a next size bigger over here. These are all laid out in order. So this is the next one up. A little bit tighter. Probably go one more size maybe. Maybe not. Could have that else and get to it. Yep, that's too small. Alright, so that one don't work. So I'm going to go one size bigger than 1/4 inch. Run it through all these holes. Try to get all the crap out of here. So we don't want none of this junk in here. Alright. That hole had a bunch in there. So it looks like we get coming out here. Hopefully. Okay, it looks like the holes are all cleaned out pretty good. Make sure that's all good and clean. Okay, now we're ready to do a little lapping job on the ball seat. So we get to get back over here and do that. Okay, so right over here. Got my rod with a ball welded to it. So after a while these get tapered, you got to throw them away, put another ball on it. This one's still got a few more jobs in it. Take some fine lapping compound. Just take a little dab of it there. Just put it right across where the seat goes. Seat only hits right there. That's all you need. Dirty rag to wipe the lapping compound in so they don't get in our motor. Okay, just take the pump and put it in there, go back and forth like this. Go all the way to different diameters around the hole like this. And you're trying to make it more of a ball shape down in there. You see the ball right through the hole right here as I'm working it. Okay. I didn't put much lapping compound on there, so it's wearing away pretty quickly. Okay, so now it's lapped in there. So I can go clean it off and see what we got. See where this material was out there. Wipe that off. So I'm going to take a little brake clean and blow that out, and we'll see what we got. We'll be back. Okay, we're back. Just blew it out. I don't know if you can see in there how good it is or not. I can't see in the camera. So what you're looking for is a nice even gray mark all the way around. And that would tell you it's got a good surface. Yeah. I don't think it's even all the way around. Hard to tell. When everything's blasted, it all looks the same color. So what I'm going to do, take my red tip marker here. I'm going to mark this thing. Let's see if we can get a little dye test in here. That's what you use Dicam for. I don't have any Dicam available right now easily. Get that transferred anything over, I can see anything. Looks like there might be some dull and bright areas. I don't know. It's hard to tell. So I'm going to go ahead and put some more lapping on there. We're going to put some more on there this time, just a little dab. We're going to put a little extra. There we go. A little more lapping going this time. It's really hard to tell when everything's the same color. Makes it really, really hard to see anything. What you don't want to do is put this on a drill motor and spin the thing at high RPM. So you're not trying to remove a bunch of metal. Just trying to clean it up. Back and forth like this. Okay, so I just pulled it straight out. Let's see if we can see a gray, an even gray mark all the way across the lapping compound. There's definitely a lapping compound in there. So you can see in there with a pretty good layer of it all the way in there. It's definitely wet in there. All right. Go blow it off some brake clean again. A couple squirts in there. Hopefully that time it's got a pretty even mark in there, I hope. So I can't tell on the camera. Looks fairly even. Okay, so I'm going to take a ball bearing. A couple of used ones floating around over here. Stick one in there. Take an aluminum punch. A couple taps with the steel hammer here. Should be enough. Pull that out. Don't reuse that again. So that lopping compound is going to leave these sharp edges all the way around. When you put the ball in and peen it, it flattens it all out. Should make a nice flat edge to seal with. It might give me a slightly different color to look at also, but it's really hard to tell. Anyway, that's what we got for now. So if you had a vacuum pump, you can vacuum test it. Brush out of those right now. Here's another ball. I think this was his new one here. Here's his shiny one. It's probably a new one. So if you stick it in there like that, this hole here, you should be able to pull a vacuum through this hole. It'll seal if it's 100% down like it's supposed to be. If it's not, it'll leak out. So I don't have a vacuum pump, so I can't test it. All I can do is put a little squirtum in there and see if it squirts down the bottom here, just by putting pressure on it like that, which ain't much pressure. So we cheat and put the spring in there, right there. Put some light tension on it. It should seal it. I gotta cover this hole up so it doesn't come out of here. Okay. So I'm holding the spring in. You see how it's leaking out of here because I took my finger off. Dumbass. Let's see where the hole in here looks dry. It's got the CRC running down the side of it, but the actual hole in there is dry. So I think it's good. That's my test. Alright, I'm going to go clean all this off. We'll be back.